Imagine you wake up tomorrow. Fever, headache, body aching all over. What do? Maybe you Google your symptoms, probably convince yourself you're dying, then call a doctor, get some pills, feel better in 3 days. Simple, easy, normal. But here's the thing. For 99% of human history, none of that existed. No doctor, no medicine, no hospital, not even a Google search to tell you it's probably just allergies. So what happened when ancient humans got sick? Did they just suffer? Did they give up? The answer is equal parts fascinating, surprising, and honestly a little gross. First, let's understand how serious this really was. We're talking about a world with zero germ theory. Nobody knew what bacteria was. Nobody knew what a virus was. Nobody even knew why wounds got infected. And yet, humans survived for hundreds of thousands of years without a single antibiotic, without a single vaccine, without one doctor, nurse, or pharmacist. How? Well, it turns out ancient humans weren't just sitting around hoping for the best. They were actually doing something surprisingly intelligent, and something occasionally completely insane. The first thing ancient humans figured out was that plants could heal, and this wasn't a lucky guess. This was thousands of years of careful observation and experimentation. Someone ate a certain leaf, felt better. Someone rubbed a certain bark on a wound, it closed faster. Someone chewed a certain root, pain reduced, and they remembered. They passed it down, generation after generation. Archaeological evidence shows that Neanderthals, who lived over 50,000 years ago, were already using medicinal plants. Researchers found yarrow, groundsel, and ephedra in ancient burial sites. These plants have real, documented pain relief and anti-inflammatory properties. Let that sink in. 50,000 years ago, before any civilization existed, someone already knew which plant could reduce your fever. That is genuinely incredible. But ancient medicine wasn't just random plant eating. Every tribe had someone special, a person who knew more than everyone else, who had studied the plants, the wounds, the fevers, who had seen what worked and what didn't. We call them shamans, medicine men, healers. And here's what's interesting. Archaeology shows these people were real specialists, not just spiritual leaders, actual medical practitioners. A 2017 study found evidence of ancient skull surgery dating back over 5,000 years. They were drilling into human skulls, and patients were surviving. We know they survived because the bone regrew around the holes. Ancient humans were performing brain surgery successfully with stone tools thousands of years before modern medicine existed. Next time you complain about a long wait at the doctor's office, just remember that alternative. But here's the part that nobody talks about. The most powerful medicine ancient humans had wasn't a plant, it wasn't a healer, it was each other. When someone got sick in a hunter-gatherer group, the whole tribe slowed down. They stayed together. Someone brought food. Someone kept the fire going. Someone sat with the sick person through the night. Modern research on surviving hunter-gatherer tribes confirms this completely. These communities show extraordinarily high levels of care for sick members, including elderly and disabled people who couldn't contribute to the group. They weren't left behind. They were carried. In a world with no safety net, the tribe was the safety net. And honestly, that might be the most human thing in this entire video. But let's not pretend everything was beautiful, because ancient medicine also had a very dark side. When plants didn't work and when the healer's knowledge ran out, ancient humans turned to something else: ritual, spirits, supernatural forces. They believed sickness was caused by evil spirits, angry ancestors, or broken taboos. And the cure? Drive the spirit out. This meant loud chanting directly into the sick person's ear, burning herbs until the patient could barely breathe, bloodletting, cutting the body to let bad blood out, and in extreme cases, the skull drilling we mentioned earlier was done to release evil spirits from the brain. Not exactly a pleasant experience when you already have a headache. But here's the thing. Some of these rituals actually worked, not because of spirits, but because belief itself is powerful. The placebo effect is real. When you genuinely believe something is healing you, your body responds. Ancient healers understood this thousands of years before scientists could explain why. So what actually happened when ancient humans got sick? They used plants with real medicinal properties. They had specialized healers with real knowledge. They performed surgeries that modern medicine only recently caught up with. They wrapped each other in community care. And yes, they also did some things that make absolutely no sense today. But here's the twist. Modern medicine is only about 200 years old. The germ theory of disease, 200 years old. The germ theory of disease, 1860s. Penicillin, the first antibiotic, 1928. Ancient humans managed sickness for 300,000 years before any of that existed, and some of what they discovered is still in your medicine cabinet right now. Aspirin comes from willow bark, which ancient humans were already chewing for pain relief thousands of years ago. They didn't have doctors, but they had something else: observation, community, resilience, and apparently a surprising willingness to drill holes in each other's heads. If this blew your mind, drop a comment below. What ancient remedy would you try?